Someone appears in your life like an angel. They offer help you never asked for. They solve problems before you even realize they exist. It feels like destiny. But here's what FBI behavioral analysts know that you don't. Genuine help comes when you ask for it. Predatory help arrives uninvited. When someone forces generosity upon you, they're not being kind. They're creating debt. Every unsolicited favor is a psychological chain being forged around your freedom. The predator, disguised as helper, operates on a simple principle: create artificial obligation through manufactured kindness. They don't wait for you to struggle. They create the perception that you need saving. Watch how genuine helpers respond when you decline their assistance. They accept your common no with grace. Predators become offended, hurt, or aggressive. The gift that enslaves you always comes with invisible strings attached. Those strings lead directly to your autonomy, your choices, your very soul. If you're finding value in this, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. As we discussed, the gift that enslaves you is just the beginning. But here's what makes these predators truly dangerous. They keep a mental ledger. Every favor recorded. Every kindness catalogued. Every moment of your vulnerability documented. While you forget their small gestures, they remember everything. Because to them, generosity isn't kindness. It's investment. That coffee they bought you 3 months ago. They remember the ride they gave you when your car broke down. Still on their books. They weaponize your gratitude. Turn your appreciation into obligation. Transform your thank you into their control mechanism. You think you're dealing with a generous person. They know they're building a prison. One favor at a time. The moment you try to assert independence, out comes the ledger. Remember when I helped you move? Remember when I listened to your problems? They don't say these words directly. They don't have to. The implication hangs in the air like a threat. This is social obligation warfare. They understand the psychology of debt better than most financial advisors understand money. Normal people help and let go. These predators help and hold on. Forever. They remember your weakest moments because weakness is their currency. Vulnerability is their investment opportunity. You shared your struggles thinking you found a friend. They filed it away as future leverage. The hidden ledger never balances in your favor. Because the game was rigged from the first transaction. But recognizing the ledger is just the beginning. These psychological predators have an even darker profile that the FBI has studied extensively. The FBI has a name for them: predatory rescuers. They hunt in hospitals, support groups and crisis centers. Their victim selection isn't random, it's calculated, methodical, scientific. They possess 3 core traits that make them devastatingly effective predators. First, hypervigilance. They can spot emotional wounds from across a crowded room. Second, adaptive mirroring. They become exactly what you need them to be in that moment. Third, manufactured urgency. They create artificial time pressure to bypass your rational thinking. The savior complex isn't about helping others. It's about feeding an insatiable need for control. They don't rescue people, they collect them. Like trophies in their personal museum of dependency. Their hunting ground. Moments of maximum vulnerability. Divorce proceedings. Job losses. Medical diagnoses. They study your pain like scientists. Catalog your fears. Map your psychological weak points. The more desperate you are, the more attractive you become to them. They don't want to solve your problems, they want to become indispensable to your survival. Because once you believe you can't survive without them, the real horror begins. Building on what we covered about the predatory rescuer's profile, let's examine their most dangerous weapon, the escalation pattern. It starts with something so innocent, you'd never suspect the trap being set. First, they offer to carry your groceries. Next week, they're suggesting which brand of coffee you should buy. Within months, they're questioning your life choices, your job, your friends, your very identity. Each favor creates a small debt. Each suggestion plants a seed of doubt in your own judgment. The predatory helper doesn't leap. They creep. One boundary violation at a time. By the time you realize what's happening, your decision-making muscle has atrophied completely. You find yourself asking their opinion before making any choice, no matter how small. Their helpful suggestions transform into thinly veiled commands. You comply without even realizing it. The escalation is so gradual, so perfectly calibrated, that you mistake control for care. They've weaponized your gratitude, your politeness, your basic human decency against you. The most insidious part. You begin to believe you can't function without their constant guidance. This learned helplessness isn't accidental. It's the intended outcome of their systematic campaign. Next, we'll explore how they begin collecting their payment for all that unwanted help. The predator has invested months, maybe years, building their emotional bank account with you. Now comes the collection phase. The moment when all those favors transform into chains. They don't just ask for help, they remind you of everything they've done first. Remember when I stayed up all night helping you with that crisis? Remember when I dropped everything for you? This is emotional blackmail disguised as friendship. A transaction presented as love. The timing is never accidental. They strike when you're vulnerable, overwhelmed, or isolated. Your guilt becomes their weapon. Your gratitude becomes their leverage. They've conditioned you to believe that saying no makes you ungrateful, selfish, a bad person. The psychological pressure is immense. They've rewritten the rules of your relationship. What started as voluntary gratitude has become mandatory servitude. The demands escalate. First it's time. Then money. Then compromising your values. Each yes makes the next no harder. The debt feels infinite. This is how good people become trapped in toxic relationships they never saw coming. But there is a way out. And that's what we're covering next. As we've dissected the predatory helper's playbook, one question remains. How do you distinguish genuine assistance from psychological warfare, disguised as kindness? Authentic helpers never keep score. They offer assistance without creating invisible contracts. True assistance empowers you to solve your own problems, not creates dependency. Predatory helpers rush in uninvited. Genuine helpers wait to be asked. When someone insists on helping despite your refusal, red flags should be screaming. The first defense against weaponized kindness is recognizing your own psychological triggers. Guilt and obligation are not natural responses to genuine kindness. Practice saying no without explanation. Your boundaries require no justification. When someone's help comes with emotional strings attached, cut those strings immediately. Build a network of people who support your independence, not your dependence. Remember, true strength lies not in accepting all help, but in discerning which help serves you. The predatory helper's greatest fear is your ability to recognize their true motives. You now possess the psychological armor to defend against false saviors masquerading as allies. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button and subscribe for more.